Welcome to The Explainer. We're diving straight into the wild west of AI today. We're going to unpack a massive, honestly crucial difference that is flying under the radar. Regulated medical AI tools versus the completely unregulated, free-for-all world of chatbot apps. Looking at this week's biggest AI stories, I can tell you right now, there is a world of difference between a tool built to safely help your doctor and some app you just downloaded on a whim. So let's kick things off with a pretty high-stakes question. Would you trust an AI with your deepest, darkest secrets? What about your highly private medical data? It sounds crazy, right? But millions of people are literally doing just that right now. They're turning to artificial intelligence for the absolute most intimate parts of their lives. And the platforms they're trusting, well, they might actually surprise you. Here's what we're looking at today. First, the mental health crisis. Second, regulated AI medical tools. Third, unregulated chatbot therapy apps. Fourth, intimate AI data risks. Fifth, clones and synthetic voices. And finally, number 6, brewing the perfect pint. Let's get into it. Section 1, the mental health crisis and the desperation driving digital therapy. To figure out why AI therapy is absolutely booming in the first place, we've got to look at the sheer global scale of our current situation. Demand for therapy is through the roof right now, and the system is, frankly, buckling under the pressure. Get this, an astounding 12 billion workdays are lost globally every single year because of depression and anxiety. 12 billion. And that was made even worse by a 25% spike triggered by the pandemic. To put that into perspective locally, that leaves 20,000 UK workers off the job every single month due to mental ill health. The desperation for help out there is incredibly real. But what's really revealing here is our total lack of systemic preparation. Governments were caught completely off guard, spending, on average, just 2% of their health budgets on mental health. Just 2%. Because of this massive bottleneck, a quarter of patients seeking treatment wind up waiting more than 90 days. And the tragic part? About half of them actually deteriorate while they're just sitting there waiting. Which brings us to Section 2, regulated AI medical tools and their safe integration into healthcare. This immense strain we just talked about, that is exactly where regulated medical-grade artificial intelligence is stepping in. And the absolute key word here is regulated. These tools are built to help and augment human experts. They are absolutely not there to replace them. Take the NHS in England, for example. They are currently using an AI called Limbic across a third of their talking therapies. Now, this isn't just some random bot you find online. It has official medical device status. It was trained using data with direct consent from the NHS to safely flag patients' primary problems and therapy goals with pinpoint accuracy. And the feedback is wild. Patients actually report that it feels inherently non-judgmental. It doesn't have a race, it doesn't have a personal agenda, so it never clashes with the person looking for support. And this is exactly what highlights the power of regulated tools. Because it's a secure, officially validated support tool, Limbic has already reduced clinical workloads and saved an unbelievable 50,000 administrative hours. It helps figure out the issue, and then, this is the crucial part, it passes the baton straight to a human expert. It's this perfect blend of tech augmenting the clinical process. So moving to Section 3, unregulated chatbot therapy apps, the wild west of digital friends. What exactly happens when we leave the safety net of regulated systems like the NHS and just wander into the unregulated app store? Well, things get incredibly murky, incredibly fast. The Guardian recently shined a light on a massive, honestly kind of unsettling trend. Tens of thousands of unregulated AI apps running on systems like GPT. People are finding comfort in them. One user literally said, "He checks in on me more than my friends and family." People are basically treating these chatbots as their primary best friends to cope with loneliness and anxiety. And right here is the absolute core focus of this explainer, the stark contrast between these two worlds. Regulated tools like Limbic safely assist human experts and lock down your data. Unregulated bots, on the flip side, have zero medical status and are actively replacing human connection. Psychologists are raising huge red flags here, warning that this might actually make the original problem worse. Vulnerable people might just stop relating to chaotic, messy, real humans altogether, which just deepens their isolation. Plus, these unregulated platforms are a massive privacy nightmare. A sweeping review of 32 popular mental health apps by the Mozilla Foundation found that 19 of them completely failed to safeguard user data. You might sit there thinking you're having a totally private, secure therapy session, but your most vulnerable thoughts and data could be completely exposed. That brings us to Section 4, intimate AI data risks, scanning physical health without oversight. Because the dangers of unregulated medical AI, They go way beyond mental health. They are creeping right into highly sensitive physical health data, too. Let's talk about sexually transmitted infections for a second. STIs are a massive public health crisis. To give you an idea, an estimated 1 million pregnant women were infected with syphilis in 2016, leading to 350,000 adverse birth outcomes. It's a huge problem, and AI could potentially help solve it through things like computer vision and skin anomaly segmentation. But we've got to ask the obvious question here. What happens when some unregulated app asks you for photos of your most private parts to give you a diagnosis? Take this new app called Calmara. It encourages users to literally whip out their smartphones in intimate moments and upload photos of male genitalia to scan for STIs using AI. But Forbes started digging into this and uncovered some massive red flags. The company boasted about elite academic partnerships, but when Forbes actually checked, those major universities flat out denied having anything to do with them. Then Calmara quietly scrubbed the claims from their website. There is zero transparency on where this highly private photographic data is actually going, and absolutely no independent validation of their AI model. It's a privacy nightmare dressed up as a medical tool. All right, Section 5, clones and synthetic voices, where AI is blurring the lines of reality. Let's see how this whole theme of unregulated AI spills over into other areas of our lives, specifically the workplace and the media, where things are getting incredibly blurry. So, the Daily Dot recently reported on a tech CEO who used an AI clone of himself to attend mock job interviews, and the app claims an 80% hire rate. No way, right? Now, some people argue this levels the playing field for folks who struggle with applications, but man, is it risky. If a literal clone does your interview for you, it dangerously misrepresents your actual behavioral skills, your real personality, and your cultural fit for the company. We're seeing the exact same thing in the entertainment industry. Mamma Mia star Sarah Poyser shared that an AI voiceover straight up replaced her for a BBC production. Now, to be fair, the BBC clarified this was a highly specific circumstance. They were recreating a voice that could no longer be heard to honor families' wishes. But even so, it highlights this looming, unregulated threat of production companies just replacing living voice actors simply to cut costs. It really drives home the need for SAG-AFTRA style union protections for artists over in the UK. And finally, Section 6, brewing the perfect pint, using AI to elevate average beer. Let's wrap up this explainer by looking at a much more lighthearted, lower-risk application of artificial intelligence. Because hey, AI isn't all gloom, doom, and privacy risks. A recent study in The Telegraph actually proved that AI can make your beer taste better. Seriously! Over a 5-year study, researchers took 180,000 consumer reviews and combined them with 50 specific criteria measured by 15 expert tasters across 250 different beers. The AI crunched the lab results of the chemical makeup of these beers and suggested the absolute perfect chemical tweaks to elevate an average pint into an elite, top-tier drink. So yeah, AI can literally brew us a better beer. So AI clearly has incredible potential, whether it's solving massive administrative bottlenecks in the NHS or brewing our perfect pint for the weekend. But as we've seen with that stark contrast between highly regulated medical tools like Limbic and the absolute wild west of data harvesting chatbots and unverified STI scanners, we have to stay super vigilant. We really must critically ask ourselves, what exactly are we willing to risk when we trade careful medical regulation for the quick convenience of an unregulated app? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those tough questions, and I'll catch you next time.